Ladies and gentlemen, my thoughts on everything that went down on the 33rd episode of Friday Night Smackdown. First of all, the Usos versus the Street Profits was a good opener and one that would have been even better in a pay per view setting without commercial breaks to derail the momentum. Jimmy rocking Usos gear in hopes that his team with his brother will one day reign supreme, while Jay remained loyal to Roman Reigns with his right hand man was a great touch. Very, very great touch to the overreacting story. The right team went over as the Street Profits are pretty bulletproof from the credibility perspective at this point. The potential is there for more matches between the two, but it will be imperative not to overexpose the bout and subject it to criticize or to criticism, especially when this felt as special as it did. Now, the Wyatt Squad versus Natalya and Tamina, it was disappointing to see the Wyatt Squad relaunched to an afterthought of sorts in the tag division. They were not granted an entrance, and there was never really any suspicion that they would win the match. Wyatt and Morgan are a talented team with a charisma, that so many have been pushed ahead of them. Now, they should be more than they are, though through no fault of their own. Natalya and Tamina's Cinderella story continued this week with what I call not a victory, because there was a botch in the women's tag match. Tamina pinned the Riott Squad right after the referee count. Tamina and the Wyatt Squad were supposed to. Tamina was supposed to pin Ruby Wyatt first, and then the referee counts for the 1, 2, 3. Not the referee, not Tamina pinning the Wyatt Squad member Ruby Wyatt and the referee counting 2, 3. It didn't make sense to me. That was a botch right there. That was a terrible botch. It really was. Even though it was still a great showcase for them, highlighting what each does so well, while allowing them to build momentum as champions. No harm, no foul on that front. Even though I'm not really interested or invested in the women's tag division, I really be glad when the women's tag division gets splitted. Honestly, tag division's boring right now, and I don't think nobody can give a less shit about it. Anyways, and they need to get rid of those WWE Women's Tag Team titles. Nobody cares, man. Really. Now, Bianca versus Carmella wasn't much. Now, Bianca picking up a tough win, and Bayley continuing to egg her on ahead of their inevitable rematch. It didn't really advance the storyline, if you guys know what I mean. Nor did it make the audience want to see rematch any more or less. Now, it was a segment that just was, and in many regards, those are the worst. Absolute worst, man. Kudos to Carmella for a solid performance, even as frustration over a lack of story and direction mounts. Now, Seth Rollins addressing the WWE Universe, it was not too bad. It was great. He did good. Now, Rollins has been and will continue to be delusional as a consistency with his character, dating back to his heel turn in 2019. I did say this on Twitter. I tweeted this out on Twitter and said that. And one that he continues to embrace 2 years later. Now, blaming fans is sorrow for the latter's misfortunes is exactly what you would expect from Rollins, but the manner in which he transitioned from over the top, jokey, to mincing was new. It was new. It was something this incarnation of the character needs in order to return to the main event scene. Now, more of the seriousness, less of nauseous and Rollins may be posted to break back into the Universal title picture. So he may turn face. That's probably what that means. Now, I don't know if some of you are going to be happy or mad, but we'll find out. We'll find out what happens. Now, Kevin Owens versus Apollo Crews was rushed, and I also felt like this show was rushed as well. Both are too talented to be thrown out on TV like that with a minute or two to work with. Now, with acts to, rush through their match before a cheap finish, like that. It was a major disappointment, and if the match was intended to set up a pay-per-view match that easily could have been achieved in any number of ways besides a throwaway, meaningless couple of minutes match, the backstage back and forth was the typical excellence we have seen out of Reigns and Uso for more months now. The eventual moment in which Jay either betrays Jimmy or attacks Roman Reigns will draw a huge ovation from fans, if for no other reason than the level of storytelling that has gone into their program. The Roman Reigns bloodline storyline, man. The Roman Reigns storyline is the only greatest thing going in all of sports entertainment right now. Roman Reigns is the only best heel in all WWE, man. I mean, what do you expect? He's the tribal chief. He's the head of the table. He's the reason why Smackdown's getting a lot better. Main reason. Now, this Nakamura and Gable match, honestly, even though I'm not a fan of Corbin, I will say at least the Corbin feud is giving Nakamura something to do. I mean, it may not be the most inspired program, but it has introduced bugs to the fans. It sets up a potential new tournament to crown the new next King of the Ring. All things considered, it could be worse. But you got to look at it this way too, folks. One would assume a tag team match pinning Nakamura and Bugs against Alpha Academy may be on the horizon based on what went down this week. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but we'll find out. Now, I question this SmackDown Tag Team Championship rematch. I even tweeted this out, man. I said, would it really hurt WWE Creative to let the Mysterios, Rude and Ziggler, have a straight match for the tag titles? I question that, folks. The Rentlets on the handicap formula aside, was a rather, how do I put it? It was a rather uninteresting main event that played out exactly as WrestleMania Backlash with an even cheaper finish and Ray popping up to provide the distraction and bring about the finish. Now, the arrival of the Usos was great, as were Reigns, factual expressions. That story makes this whole thing passionable. The reason why I didn't play a song in this video is because I didn't need it. But anyways, folks, that's gonna do it for this video, man. Please hit the like on the video if you enjoyed it. If you enjoy hearing my thoughts on everything that went down in this week's Smackdown. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. I'll get out of here, folks. I will be dropping a video of me giving my thoughts on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. So that video will be recorded, uploaded, and published. So be sure you check it out. It'll be published this afternoon. Folks, I hope you have a good day. Be sure you follow me on Twitter at Ingham Wrestling. Follow me on Twitch at Ingham Wrestling News. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're new. I'm getting out of here. Have a nice day. And I will see you guys live on Call of Duty tonight. Peace.